You don't have expectations of your partner. But guess what? Yeah, you're going to keep getting the wrong woman. Yeah, you're going to keep getting the wrong man. Because it's not the other people, it's not the other person's responsibility for how you're treated. It's a you thing. It's a you issue. That's what it's about. It's about self, man. It's about yourself. So I 100% agree.
I've read several books about crime in the inner city. And it's had me ask the question, why isn't PTSD and mental trauma being taken more seriously in our Black and brown communities?
That's a great question. I guess I would start by saying, I think, again, back to our original point, is that it's hard for us as Black and brown people to acknowledge the things that have been done to us because it's been done for so long. Like, Black lives and brown lives have been mutilated, destroyed, killed, burned. I mean, so I think for us, most of us grow up this way. And so, or a lot of us grew up this way. And so we don't recognize all of the chaos going around us because it's just normal. And we don't recognize that all of those things that we saw or heard or we're a part of, all of the chaos and trauma, that it carries with us. Like, as you get older, you don't forget what you saw or what you experienced. Those things accumulate, right, in that emotional baggage, right, and emotional luggage that we all carry. And so I think for a lot of it, we just don't recognize it because it's too difficult or too painful to talk about.
But I mean, as far as how America views the trauma that Black and brown people go through. Like, you know, when we say something, it's always like, oh, you're playing the race card. It's like, no, I'm emotionally and mentally hurting.
Yeah.
And, you know, I see my child be killed and you like, oh, well, they used to smoke weed. What does that have to do with my innocent child being killed?
And thank you for the clarification because that's really on point.
Yes.
And I think for me is that I think America doesn't want to accept responsibility for we're here because of ultimately all of the things that they've done. Right? Like they have systematically done things to keep Black and brown people in poverty, right? Because poverty assures that certain groups of people will always be in power. But I don't think America wants to ever acknowledge all of the things that are being done, because then that would mean they have to point the finger at themselves. They're responsible for it. And ultimately, right, like if you've done things for capitalist reasons, right, we live in a capitalist society, and you oppress a certain group of people because you can make money off of them, right? You know, we can keep them in a certain lower place because we can benefit financially off of them. Well, I don't think America wants to take on that burden, right? I don't think America wants to admit, right? Because now it becomes a mental health issue. I have to say to myself that my uncle, my aunt, my grandmother, my grandpa, my mom, my dad, they were a part of the reason why these people have been traumatized. I mean, that's a hard deal, right? Because you also have to say, well, I love that person. That person means a lot to me.
Yeah.
But then that person is also in black and white pictures watching somebody hang from a tree. Like nobody wants to have that conversation. Yeah. So it's a much easier conversation to say, well, it's your own fault. And here in America, everybody gets the same treatment. You pull yourself up from your bootstraps, right? That's a narrative that I've grown up with for almost 45 years. Yeah. And so I think America takes that stance because that's an easier stance than, hey, we all should have an opportunity to be successful. And if a person's not successful, it's because they chose not to. Not because the system, judges people by their name or if they have a apostrophe in their name or where they come from. They don't decide what school they go to and what they have access to certain resources. But I don't think America wants to have that conversation.
We have just... Yes. We have a few more questions and we're going to let you out of here, Brother Harold. I think it's very beautiful that, American society is just now starting to realize how important a father's role is in a child's development. Why do you think it took so long?
Oh, man. Oh, I know why. Right? Because traditionally, men have only been providers. Okay. Right? No, so if you look back into the history books, when they show men, they never show men with their children.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was man grabs lunchbox off counter, man goes to work at factory,
yes.
right? Man comes home, man eats dinner, man puts his feet up on the couch and watches TV. We never show really men with their kids outside of when.
Yes.
Only one time.
When they got in trouble.
Sport. When they're in trouble?
Yeah.
Or sport.
Yeah.
That's the only time men have been traditionally involved is when it's with discipline or it's with sport. And so for a lot of times, for most of the time, men have been socialized out of the emotional part, the raising of kids part, right? The educational part. Dad has to be a part of that. Dad just pays bills, does discipline, does sports. Mom takes care of everything else. So I think we kind of raised our families that way. Culturally, as Americans, that men don't have to be a part of all the other things that are going on inside the household.
Brother Harold, this has been a beautiful, beautiful conversation.
Yes.
Very informative. What's the most important piece of advice you think you could give to couples or our Black and brown communities?
So I think for couples, the number one thing I always say is before you get married, before you start having children, you need to always do premarital counseling. Because hopefully if you find the right therapist or program, they're going to make you guys ask really difficult questions that you would have never thought about asking. Right? Like now we have to ask, well, have you ever been depressed? You need to know that before you get married to somebody. No, have you ever struggled with bipolar disorder? Have you ever had schizophrenia or racing thoughts? We need to ask those questions because those are things that undermine the health of marriage. So you want to ask, have you ever been involved in trauma? And so I would always say for couples, always get premarital counseling, and that if you have problems, it's okay to see a therapist, right?
Yes.
It's like going to the doctor. If you feel something that's not right in your knee, you don't get up and go. You don't get up and go to the doctor immediately, right? If we sneeze or if something just falls off our face, we're going to the emergency immediately because we want to find out what's going on. In your relationship, in your marriage, it's the exact same way. If something's not right, if it's not something we can work through, guess what? It's okay to go see a therapist. It doesn't mean your relationship's bad or it's doomed. It just means it needs to tune up, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't buy a BMW or a Tesla and then not get it tuned up every 6 months or every year, right?
That's powerful.
That's why it's valuable. It's too expensive. It's a valuable thing that you prioritize. If you prioritize your relationship, you got to keep working on it. You got to keep dating one another. If we need to go to therapy, we'll go to therapy. We're going to keep talking and communicating outside of just bills and discipline. And I think it's the same thing for the Black and brown community, right?
Yes.
As we continue to evolve and grow, it's like it's okay to not be okay, right?
Yes.
Our cultures have been through so much, and so that if you find yourself in a place where you're lacking a skill, right, emotional skill, you didn't get it from your parents, or you didn't get it while you were growing up, it's okay to say, you know what, I need to go talk to somebody professionally so they can help me figure out why I didn't get this skill and how I can get it. How can I get better at it so that it doesn't negatively affect myself or my relationships with the people that I love.
You are good, sir. I need to send you an offering because you have helped me today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I received that love.
Brother Harold, we have thoroughly enjoyed conversating with you, brother, and breaking bread on this program.
You are living in your calling, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are doing a great job. I'm excited to be a part of the things that you guys are doing. So I know your reach is growing, and so I just encourage you guys to keep doing what y'all doing. It's important. It's valuable. It means a lot. It's going to touch people and help people. So I'm just proud to be a part of the experience. So thank you guys.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything before we get out of here that you would like to plug as far as, how people can get in touch with you if they're having mental issues or platforms or anything you want to plug right now?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Harold Brakefield. I'm a licensed professional counselor. If you look up my name, it'll come up, right? I am the moderator. I am the leader on Black Mental Health, a Facebook group. We also just recently started doing some stuff on YouTube. So just having some conversations that people are bringing up in our group. right? And I'm just bringing it on video and just giving out information. So you can find me there. You can look up my name. So I'm moving around. I'm always excited and accessible. And so if you need mental health services, feel free to reach out to our group. Somebody will always try to point you in the right direction. Or if you need some help or information from me, then you can always reach me there in our group. Or you can just shoot me an email, and I'll be glad to help you in some way. So,
brother, when I was younger, I used to be too mentally immature to say things like this, but I truly love you. I truly appreciate this message that you've given to our listeners. And, I'm just very, very honored that you was able to come on our program today.
Man, thank you guys, both. I appreciate you guys.
We're going to let you out of here, Brother Harold. We hope everything continues to prosper for you and your business grows.
Yeah, absolutely, man. God bless you guys.
Tell your family we said hello.
Will do. Peace.
All right, brother.
Bye-bye.
Well, family, that was Brother Harold Rayfield. As he said, you can reach out to him at any point if you would like to, if you need help with your own mental struggles.
Yes, as you can hear, he knows what he's doing. So, it's important that when you're looking for someone, to talk to in that profession, make sure it's somebody you're comfortable with. You might not be comfortable with, who your husband is seeing or who your mom or dad. You got to find the person that's right for you. Harold is not right for you. I'm sure he can help you get into the right person that is helpful and that's right for you.
But as always, Cece has been over here for at least the last 20 minutes about to show her ass. Y'all can never, people be telling us, hey, you should do the visual and go on YouTube. That's not possible for us right now because she's only 3 months old and Cece gonna do whatever the hell Cece wants to do.
You gonna leave my baby alone.
But as always, family, listen to the message. Go out, like, share, subscribe. Hit those like buttons. Leave a comment. And if you want to ask Brother Harold something, leave a comment here and we'll get in touch with him so he can get in touch with you if you don't feel like getting in touch with him directly. Just keep this movement moving because our entire goal. Do you have something you want to say, Cece? Because you're looking at me like you want to say something. Our entire goal is to open up communication and having the relationships in your life, be it between you and your mother, you and your father, whomever. We want to start growing those relationships in our Black and brown communities and just give out love and positivity, man. So we're going to let this one go. We love you all. You got anything to say, baby?
No, I think we said it all.
I think we said it all. That's a good way to close it. You want to say bye-bye, Cece? No? You just going to breathe? Okay. We love y'all, man. Be good.